Hello and welcome to the season finale of On the Road with Stars and Spokes. So this is the last broadcast, and there's a reason for that because Pascal, you've made it. Congratulations.
Yeah, you've got a sound effect there of you, Steve.
I have got, look, mate, it took me hours to find this for you. Listen up.
Right. Hey. Thanks, mate. This is such a professional outfit. Yeah, no, we're all done. We're all done, Steve. So, yeah, I literally finished the ride, around about an hour ago, actually. So got to John O'Groats, and then, as you well know, because we were chatting about it, post John O'Groats, I then had to backtrack on myself for 15 miles to the nearest town to get some Wi-Fi for us to be able to have this little chat. So, yeah, great success. I mean, it hasn't really sunk in because I literally just jumped off the bike about 10 minutes ago. But yeah, great to have gotten it done.
Well done. And also we have a special guest, your fellow cyclist, Dan.
A fellow cyclist?
Yeah, your fellow
Is that right? Is that what we're calling him?
Yeah, why not? He's your training partner. Partner. Come on, don't try and take all the glory. You've got the United States. You two have got to be going to the United States together, so be careful.
Yeah.
Dan, can you hear us? What would you like to say? Have we lost Dan?
Yeah, I can hear you, Steve. Yeah, yeah. Oh no, have you lost me or am I there?
No, we've got you. We've got you. Carry on.
I'm here. All right, good. Yeah, I just wanted to sort of dial in and say congratulations to Pascal. And it's a shame I couldn't have been there. It looked like an epic adventure all the way, and I've really enjoyed sort of following it through. He's done an absolutely fantastic job, and it looks like there's loads of really useful lessons learned for our next trip out to the States. So yeah, really well done.
So anything to say back to your cycling partner there, Pascal?
Well, I think that might be the kindest thing Dan said to me in 15 years, to be honest with you. So, have you recorded that, have you, Steve? We can play that over and over. No, it's great. Yeah, I mean, I feel really bad because obviously Dan has put so much training effort into this over the past 12 months. He did so much of the admin for this one, whereas I led on the admin for the US one. So he's just put tons of work into it. And then to find out that he had to go overseas for a bit very shortly before we started, I just feel for Dan, obviously. But as he says, we've learned a lot, both of us together, from this, and we can apply that all to the US next year, which will be the both of us. So yeah, great to have Dan on comms today.
And I think that paints a picture, doesn't it? This is what it's like to serve in the Royal Navy, isn't it? You get called away to do stuff, and that's the nature of the job.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, that's just, as you say, it's the nature of the beast. We both know that ops comes first. This is always a risk. It'll be a risk probably for the US next year as well, but fine. Yeah, it is what it is, and I'm sure we'll make it work one way or the other. But yeah.
So Dan, what did you think of the journey in terms of what you were able to see? I don't know how much access you had to the internet, but we've obviously been busy doing these live streams. What was your impression that you got from far away?
Yeah, it looked fantastic, Steve. Really, it looked there's some stunning scenery, of course, that he's travelled through, and I found it really interesting, sort of, and bittersweet, by not being there. It looks like he's had a fantastic time doing it. Seen some great stuff, and as you mentioned, this is the pinnacle of a lot of hard work over the last year. So really is sort of bittersweet, not to be there and be part of it. But on the other hand, deploying on operations, as you mentioned, is kind of what we've both joined up for. So, it might sound a bit cheesy, but this is, I guess, what it's all about for both of us. And yeah, it's got to kind of come first, I suppose. So I'm lucky in a lot of ways that I'm out, hopefully doing a valuable job. And it's something I'm certainly getting a lot of satisfaction from. And I know that, me and the team here, and we are, hopefully making a bit of a difference and doing some good stuff, just for the UK MOD and other people as well. So probably more on that to follow at a later date. But yeah, disappointed to have missed out. But having watched Pascal go through all of it from start to finish, yeah, again, he's done a fantastic job. I think there's a few parts which I'm glad not to have missed. He had a video of some quite wet looking, lots of headwinds and hills. especially down in the southwest, which is something I'm really sort of too familiar with. So I'm glad he's got a taste of that, and watching him, having his moments going through that, kind of made me feel a little. Well, I felt for him definitely, but it's I guess it's part of the journey, isn't it?
It absolutely is. Just for our viewers' benefit, I mean, the preamble that we had today was mostly these two tearing chunks out of each other. I think it's called banter. But they do seem to get on quite well. But you did mention the scenery, and we did try in the last episode to actually show some scenery. So we're going to give this another go, because we did a bit of videoing again, Pascal. So I'm going to play a couple of videos from yesterday and the day before. I'll play the day before first. If you could just hopefully be able to see this and then just talk us through it, if at all possible.
Yeah.
So can you see that?
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I'm visual. Yeah, I'm visual. So this was taken from yesterday. As it scrolls through, you can just see me on the bike on the road. And this is in the Northern Highlands. And I took this video to try and give a sense of just how in the middle of nowhere this spot is. You can see that one road that runs through the area. But as it pans round to the left there, you can just see there are miles and miles of nothingness, really. For those who live in the south, it's kind of a bit like Dartmoor, but on steroids. It was just such a huge open expanse of space. It must be one of the most sparsely populated areas within the UK, I would have thought, and like stunning, but also when the wind and weather's against you, it was savage. And yesterday it was a little bit against me, in as much as it was a driving sort of 25-mile-an-hour wind from the north, and I was heading in a northerly direction. So yesterday was really hard work. You can see from the video that it's quite open, so that wind really gets to you. And there was a fair bit of rain around as well yesterday. So that was probably actually the hardest day of the whole trip, just because of the weather conditions and where I was with it being so open.
Yeah, well, as you know, I cycle to work, and the weather conditions were appalling this morning, so I got a lift. I got a lift. That's hardcore.
Yeah. I mean, I would have ordered an Uber, but there was no reception there either because it was so remote. So yeah. But joking aside, it's a really stunning part of the world as well. Beautiful.
So I've got this other video as well. If we will have a look at that, and
okay.
Can you just confirm that you can see that again?
Yeah, again, and I took this morning. Yeah, so this was, so you can again see me just panning through there at the bottom, and that this hopefully gives you an idea of the conditions I encountered this morning, which were so different. This was up in northern Scotland along the coastal road. And you can barely sort of make out the traffic, just because the sea mist was really in this morning. It was really nice and still this morning for the first bit of the ride. And yeah, really beautiful part of the world. Again, when the mist eventually lifted, that's a great part of the world, that northern coast of Scotland. It's got a very much sort of end of the world feel to it. Like, you look out to sea and there's nothing obviously for miles, and there's not a huge amount around that road either. So it was very beautiful, and the wind started to pick up in the afternoon, which meant the mist was moved away a little bit. So I began to be able to see some of that coastline as the day wore on today. But it just gives you an idea as to how quickly conditions can change on the ride. I mean, those two videos were shot within 24 hours of each other, but you can see just how different they are.
Yeah, it looks like the set of on this filming from Vikings or Game of Thrones or something like that. Men of the North or whatever it is. So, Dan, I guess you don't know when you're coming back, but you obviously have to sort of be thinking about training, won't you? And both getting back in the saddle at some point. What's the plan in terms of training?
Yeah, so I came out here with 4 days' notice, and I'm not 100% sure when we're heading back. I think it's going to be hopefully in the next sort of week or so. So yeah, that would be good. I mean, I've managed to do a little bit of training out here, but I mean, whilst Pascal's complaining about the heat, I think we've probably got one on him there. We're talking sort of high 30s, early 40s. So yeah, I feel your pain, but on an exercise bike, I'm basically a prison yard, and the heat and the dust is pretty hard work. So I mean, I've managed to keep a little bit ticking over. And then yeah, back to the UK, and hopefully sort of going on a bit of leave, and we'll be able to get back in the saddle once we're sort of caught up with the family and friends and things, and then into the winter again, which is I think every cyclist's nightmare. But I'm going to I got quite a reasonable turbo trainer just before I left, so I've not had a chance to use it yet. I'm going to hopefully get that action over the dark sort of winter months. Start the process really all over again, and draw on that expertise from the people who have been helping us along this sort of the path sort of so far, and get ready for the States. I mean, I think, you know, Pascal's really sort of hit his form for this ride. I think I've got a bit of catching up to do prior to the summer.
Well, that's all something to look forward to, a bit of training in the winter. I can't agree with that. But we always like to thank the donations that have come through. I'm just going to have a quick look on the screen here because we've had a few come in. So a chap called Stephen Biggs, incredible effort, Loch Ness already, and Tesco Town, Inverness. Well done. Sorry I couldn't offer you hospitality en route. Andrew, Anna and Lucy R, amazing effort, well done. Richie, well done, great effort. Lily Mae Fisher, well done. Pascal, what an epic ride. Thanks for having me for a couple of days. Matt says you have to go back down now for time. It might make more sense to you. Good luck.
Yeah. I think he wants me to go. I think they want me to go back down to Land's End. Safe to say I won't be doing that. I'll be flying down. Thanks.
Well, you've got a northerly wind at the moment, haven't you? And the final one is tremendous effort. All the best with the recovery now.
Great. Yeah, no, spot on that one. Yeah. And it is going to be all about recovery for the next week or so. I think I'm going to take a bit of time off the bike. I'm actually booked in to come back up to Scotland on Friday with a bunch of mates. We've rented out a big house and they want to do a stack of bike riding over that long weekend. So we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, at least a few days off the bike, I think, is the rough plan.
From the outside perspective, maybe you didn't think that one through.
Yeah, I mean, I just love Scotland and I do generally like biking. And I'm sure by Friday it'll be fun.
I'm sure it will be. One final thing to do, of course, is if there are people out there that still wish to donate, Pascal, what do they need to do?
So if you do want to donate, you are a legend as soon as you do donate. If you can head to justgiving.com /stars and spokes. And if you do take the time to donate, if you could also drop a little message down as well, just from a morale perspective, because tonight, now the ride's over, I'll be just chilling out and probably have a bit of time to scroll through some of those messages, maybe get back to a few people who I haven't had a chance to get back to recently. But so justgiving.com /stars and spokes, with all the money going directly to the Royal Navy, Royal Marines charity. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. And finally, Dan would like to say thank you for joining us from so far away. We had tried on many occasions, but you know, the technology is what it is.
Yeah, no problem at all. It's a pleasure to sort of be here and see sort of Pascal at the end point. You know, that's really special. I think again he's done a cracking job. So yeah, looking forward to catching up. And I think my wife will be glad that when I do get back, I'll be able to put some of the equipment that I've spent quite a lot of time and effort accumulating into practice. There's loads of stuff all backed up which I just haven't used at all. So yeah, that'd be good to put that to use. And looking forward to catching up with you guys all again soon. And you know, a real thanks to all the people who've supported both Pascal and I, you know, to get this far. All the support guys who've helped out with the nutrition, the training advice, you know, the PTIs, the colleagues at work, you know, to sort of backfill sometimes when we need to get off and do that sort of stuff. You know, and there's loads of people along the way, and I'm sure they've also helped Pascal out, either through, you know, there's relations of mine who at the drop of the hat put him up, you know, slightly unexpected, like Dan's not there, that's all right, and you come. People have just sort of welcomed him along the route with open arms, and I think that's fantastic, especially in a kind of difficult place with COVID and all the rest of it. So yeah, great effort, you know, from the whole team, and yeah, really looking forward to cracking it out in the next summer.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Dan. And final words from yourself, Pascal?
Yeah, I think Dan basically hit the nail on the head there. Albeit I am the one doing the cycling and, you know, end up getting quite a lot of the credit for whatever reason. You know, this is very much a team effort. So as Dan said, there's been friends, family who've been supporting us throughout the whole journey. I mean, over the last 12 months, we've got PTI team that's helping us. We've got guys from the Institute of Naval Medicine, so Lana, Joe, Scrandan, as we call him, and a whole bunch of work friends and colleagues who, as Dan says, have adjusted schedules just to make all of this work. So I'm just one bit of it. This is an absolute team effort. So I just want to say thank you to all those people who are part of that wider team, because we've collectively as a team achieved this. And also just thank you to everyone who's put in donations, because ultimately we're trying to do this to raise awareness and funds for mental health within the Royal Navy, Royal Marines community. And loads of people have donated. I think we've got around about 4,000 already, which is epic. So just really thank you is what I wanted to say.
Well, congratulations.
That includes you, Steve, actually, doesn't it?
Don't give him credit, Dan. No, don't go down that route, Dan. No.
Look, I control the sound here, guys. Just be careful. So no, honestly, it has been an absolute pleasure. I'm looking forward to doing the US, especially with the drone footage as well. That's going to be spectacular. So yeah, I might actually be missing our little chats. How do you feel about that, Pascal?
Yeah, no, I didn't really want to admit this on air either, but yeah, I've working with a human, you know, because often doing this solo, I wasn't actually speaking to anyone for maybe an hour and a half at a time. It was you. Really good. I think maybe the plan is to do a few of these in that gap between now and next summer, just as check-ins to see how we're getting on with training. So yeah, I'm sure they'll continue.
Bad luck. But anyway, congratulations to you and to the team that's got you this far. I think it would be rude not to have another one of these.
Yes. That is great, Steve. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, there's no expense spared at this end, I can assure you. Anyway,
no expense spent.
Just no, not a penny. So thank you both.
To do better than that next year.
Well, we'll have to up the budget, maybe, you know, get a different audience sound or something like that. But guys, thank you so much for joining me, and we're looking forward to next year.